What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Game Over Greggy Show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer slash seducer slash eating bread again, Nick Scarpino.
Eating bread again.
The carbs are back.
I had two beautiful pieces of bread today. True story. I've actually been on carbs for a while. I just haven't made a big deal of it.
How long's a while?
A month.
Forever.
Why have you not eaten any of the bread here? When you're here, you have a sad little Ziploc bag full of loose meat, and then you got a fucking egg. How the hell am I supposed to put it? And you're still shitting your brains out every day.
You're not seeing. I usually do like more carbs in the morning. So when I go to the Starbucks, I get a breakfast sandwich. I'm back on those breakfast sandwiches. At night, I have like last night I had some rice
you
crackers.
go hard at Starbucks before we go to Starbucks.
Yeah, and then we go.
You go to Starbucks twice a day.
Yeah, because I've developed this new stratagem. Would you like to hear it?
I like that you're using the word stratagem. First of all,
stealing
I want to hear
it from Hell.
I haven't heard that word in a long time. So yeah, let's.
My stratagem is as follows: buy the coffee, and then see if you can get the refill at a different Starbucks. Now they're not technically supposed to let you do this, but sometimes they're cool and they don't give a shit and they don't want the argument and they just do it. So I get 2 coffees for an extra 50 cents.
Nice,
which is not bad.
So you're making money.
Not making money, still costing me money.
So how much money are you making a day now?
I'm making a negative $2.50 still.
Okay. That's pretty good though.
You're turning it around though.
Yeah,
that was
bad.
a -3 not too long ago.
Yeah, that's very true.
Okay.
You're saving $3.50 a week if you went every day and did it, but you're only going on weekdays probably, right? So you're saving $2.50.
No,
you don't know Nick that well, do you?
No, I go every day.
No,
I'll go to Starbucks at least.
you go. I'm saying I assume that maybe you go every day, but you don't go twice a day on Saturday and
not
Sunday.
on Saturday and
So you
Sunday.
see,
Well, sometimes I do. Because
why?
here's the deal.
It's a waste of money though.
Because my wife and I like to go for walks, and sometimes we'll walk for a good half hour, 45 minutes. We'll start it with a Starbucks, and you just keep it in
Nothing
your
more
hand.
refreshing at the end of a walk than coffee.
No, that's bad. It's actually been.
I know everyone.
It's been very bad lately. I've had to remind myself to hydrate because I've had the.
That's how you get kidney stones, you know.
I know. It's true.
Greg will drink enough water for all of you.
I try to keep it around over here. Try to keep it real.
I've never seen anyone drink more water than Greg, and I've never seen anyone pee less. There's something really mysterious going on with Greg Miller.
I evacuated by yelling.
Oh, okay.
I turn it into water vapor.
You
That's
don't-
what powers the inside. I'm a steam machine, guys. You ever see the fucking truck?
Where you going?
I ever see the train from Back to the Future 3?
Yeah,
That's
I
like
saw
me.
that.
That's me.
You had a Nick moment there.
I know.
didn't you?
I knew where I was going, and I saw it. I just couldn't grab it.
Here's the thing.
So I had a Dear Alice moment. I knew the word I needed, just couldn't get to it.
The reason that Tim doesn't pee is because he only drinks Coca-Cola, which is not real
I
liquid
pee
anyway.
a lot. I don't shit.
You don't shit.
I just
You don't
pee.
eat that much.
You shit sometimes.
Kevin doesn't pee because he sweats it all out. I love you, Kevin. But
Several times?
Stop ruining this joke. Colin just doesn't drink. That's the one water he's got for the week.
I don't drink a lot of water anymore.
But you open a lot of water bottles.
Yeah, and I just
a lot of
leave it
water bottles all over the
Oh, my
house.
dad used to make fun of me all the time. We would Poland Spring we drink back on the East Coast. And I used to leave those...
Poland Spring, that's what you call getting water? Like
Poland
pulling
Spring is
wool-
like the Arrowhead.
No, not pulling wool. It was a brand.
Guys, I got to be honest with you.
You
now.
never
I
seen
feel like
Poland
pulling
Spring
some
before?
spring
It's
right
a
now.
Poland
ubiquitous,
Spring.
famous bottled water company.
No.
Poland
Green bottles.
Spring sounds sexy.
That sounds nasty.
Green bottles. It's just like the
Tim, you
Arrowhead
wanna
of
go
the
out and
West
pull
Coast.
some
Still
spring
pull
with me
some
tonight?
string.
Yeah.
Pull some strang. That's
Pull
when
some
it's nasty.
But anyway, I used to just leave water bottles all over the house. My dad used to get really mad. He's like, "You drank like..."
No, used to.
Yeah, still...
Oh, no, I punted one across the living room earlier today. I don't know where it was. I think it was
I was
underneath
on the ground.
coffee
I
table,
probably
yeah.
left it when I was laying on the ground for no reason.
You did.
Watching hockey.
What?
Thought I'd watch hockey, just lay on the ground. You know,
As you do
as one
on
does.
the island.
Yeah, you want to
Here-
feel like
yeah,
the
we
puck.
do.
You gotta pull puck.
Exactly, we do different things on the island.
Pulling
but,
puck.
And as you
Pulling
know,
some
in case you're curious, it still is true that I have an advantage in our desert island scenarios because I was in fact born and raised on an island. So I just wanted to remind you guys that as well.
Yeah.
True story. Colin was very disappointed. Not more people picked up on that one.
Yeah,
He looked through the comments. He's like, "Oh no, it's."
I like
I think
that
that's
one.
one of the funniest things that's come from the show. Period.
I like that
The sincerity in your voice that you think that you're better than us because you're from an island.
Never mind the fact that I actually
Long
legitimately grew
Island.
up in a desert in the Inland Empire.
I didn't say I was better than anyone. I said that because I grew up on an island, I could survive the desert island scenario more likely than not. That was all I was trying to say.
Right.
And I'm not going to give you any reason why that is.
No. I want to know.
Because I don't really know.
After we're done making his weird fucking
Documentary.
well, it's
documentary about this, like when he finally goes on the killing spree, or
Right.
we discover the bodies, as I
Right.
should say, because I'm nearly 100% sure he's already killed at least 3 people.
Well, yeah, but then Kevin takes care of the bodies.
What the fuck?
You should have muted your mic.
Too late. You're not good enough. Not fast enough.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about being fast when they're dead, do you, Kev? Look at him slowly go over to mute the mic.
Hey, Kev, did the movie The Quick and the Dead turn you on?
I'm gonna fucking quit.
Over here, the pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty.
It's good to be here with you, Greg.
And there's the pure one, Tim Gettys.
Hello.
Wearing some of his new clothes.
New clothes.
Shabby.
Debuting it. I wasn't going to bring attention to it. You know what? Things fucking happen.
It's pretty obvious. When you walked in today, I knew you were a new,
You know
a new
what's up?
shirt. I
Well, I
didn't know
told
you should do
you.
pants as well.
I got
Well,
new
you told me
pants.
later, yeah.
Can they see my pants, guys?
No, get up and do the little crab squats you were doing a second
See your
ago.
crab squats.
Everybody, if you're listening at home, he's about to crab squat. And there it is. He's crab squatting.
That's sexy.
What is that now?
Please
that
get,
you're doing?
he's
That's
breaking
a
into, you got to
sexy
break in
crab
these
squat.
pants, you know? You got to break in pants.
What color are they?
They're black.
Are they they are black, right?
They're black. How many pairs of jeans did you get, Tim?
Into the camera.
Doesn't make
Kevin,
sense.
you're the one who's gonna break the camera one day.
Kevin,
I would not have been fun.
Kevin almost took a tumble.
Yeah.
He almost
pointed out
took
to
a
me.
tumble.
Almost out the window,
Oh yeah.
which was long foretold in the prophecy.
oh, I didn't even
The
realize that.
prophecy.
Yeah, that's going. He's gonna break right through that screen.
Not this one, the other one.
No, I think he's gonna fall out that window, which is gonna be hilarious because he's just gonna fall like 3 feet.
1 foot down.
I noticed today,
Yeah.
I finally was able to put words to how Kevin walks. Kevin walks like a bushwhacker from WWF. The Bushwhackers, you remember these guys? They march down doing this thing. That's his stomps today. I was like, you walk like a not
He walks-
not
he walks-
the arm part.
he walks
just
very
your
heavy.
Stomp
He walks
cadence.
very heavy.
Yeah, he
If you
does.
sped it up
My
a little
God,
bit,
he
you'd
walks
be
heavy.
walking heavy like Stone Cold Steve Austin. When he
You don't
comes
weigh
over.
500 pounds. You don't have to walk around like
Wait,
that.
a lot. I weigh like 200 pounds.
Sounds like you're in a mech when you walk around.
It's true. That's a really good way to
You
put
He
walk.
it.
just acts that way constantly, though. It's like
And
it's
he's
not
in a
even just
mech.
the way he walks. Yeah, it's
He
like,
drives that
it's
way.
the way he drives that way.
He almost killed you
breathes
today
that
driving,
way.
right?
He
Oh
my God.
sleeps that way. Good
the
lord,
worst.
he sleeps
My
that way.
suspension's broken and it was bouncy. And
That was fine.
I feel like Kevin's
was fine.
suspension's broken, like physically.
Indefinitely. He does walk a little like a drunk bull.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? Like a bull that's like, I don't know, like it doesn't realize that it has control over the front part of its body and the back part of its body
he
at
walks
the
like
same
Portillo.
time. So it's kind of like lists a little bit and then comes back.
So
Like a bull in the china shop, as it were.
A drunk bull in a china shop. Where like sometimes you're just like, is that bull gonna move? Why has it been sleeping for 3 days?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Over Greggy show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, you can get the whole show early over at patreon.com/kindoffunny each and every Friday. But if you don't want to give us any money, it's no big deal. Go to youtube.com/kindoffunny day by day for every topic. They're broken out. They're put up. You love them until over on Friday. We put up the whole show for free on iTunes, podcast services, Windows. Beam it to your brains.
Tunes believe.
iTunes. Did I say it weird?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you really did.
I don't.
I like making fun of you, Greg.
I know
So
you do.
Nick, is this a new shirt?
This shirt?
Yeah.
This shirt for a while.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that before.
No, but
I've seen the shirt before.
the Nick Scarpino and Joey Coke shirt went away.
Oh yeah, no, I bought it again. I like to buy. I buy the same
I was gonna wear it.
shoes.
It's been gone for years, guys. This-
Yeah, no, it didn't go away. Let's pull the let's shed some light on this.
Were you about to say pull the wool again?
I was gonna say pull the wool. I got pull the wool on my brain. The wife threw that shirt away
Yeah.
because, and I quote, "It's disgusting," because it was kind of gross and it had holes in it. But I liked it because it was super comfy. Then I just bought it again at Target.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I buy that, and I like always to have. I'm not wearing them today, but I have the same Vans that I buy every time they wear out. I just buy the exact same pair again. I'm a creature of habit.
No, I do that too. These,
Oh, no,
these
absolutely.
shoes. These are my 6th pair of these shoes.
No shit.
Yeah, I buy black Converse
love
all the
them.
time.
I like them.
Colin.
Yes.
What's your topic?
It's so surprising that I get to go first. Usually you bury my brilliance somewhere deep in the show, but you know I reliably get on base, Greg, and therefore you want me to hit lead off. You want me to hit
All
lead
those
off
things.
today.
Just like Damon Wayans or whatever. The
Yeah,
boss
Damon
is.
Wayans hit batted
Damon
layout.
Wayans was an awesome
Yeah.
leadoff hitter, as far as I understand.
Not like Marlon Wayans.
I
Like,
was
he would have been rubbish.
pondering a question that's that everyone has to deal with at one point, or something that they all have to deal with, and it's
pondering.
death.
Oh, okay.
And I'm wondering, are you afraid to die, Nick?
No, I'm not
What if
afraid
he
to
stabbed?
die.
What if he just stood up and stabbed him?
Good.
Colin turns into a bat and flies away.
I knew it. I fucking knew it all the time. I'm not afraid to die. No, I don't think so. I'm not afraid of death. I don't think about death often. What I do think about, the only thing I'm really afraid of is not accomplishing what I want to accomplish in life before I die.
And that's make a movie.
It's make movies. It's do what we're doing now, but just on a grander scale.
Sure.
It's really growing this into something that's an empire. But no, I don't think so. I mean, like, I think about that a lot too, because I'm like, I wonder if what would happen if all over tomorrow, if I got hit by a car or something and I was on my deathbed, would I be sad? Sure. But I would still look back at my life and be like, we did awesome shit and we took risks and I was fulfilled all the way up until this point. Now give me some goddamn morphine because my spine is crushed.
It's very dark. It's very dark.
Took a turn.
Yeah.
Though. Took a turn.
But I'm not, I don't fear it. I don't. I mean, having said that, I want to live forever. And I intend to live forever.
Really?
100%, yeah.
That's dangerous.
They're
With,
good.
with the
That's scary.
bicentennial man body parts.
Yeah, the Bicentennial Man, I'm thinking as soon as vampires decide to show themselves to us, I will, of course, service one in any way, shape, or form necessary. Until
sparkles in the sun.
until such a day where that vampire decides to make me a official member of the undead.
Okay, that's a good way to do it. Yeah. All right.
What about you, Greg? Are you afraid of death?
No.
You've looked it in the face once or twice already.
No. I never thought I'd die from cancer.
Really?
That was never because like even from the beginning when they're like, yeah, you might have cancer, it was like you're gonna have this Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's got like an 85% survival rate.
Oh, that's not what you told me.
Well,
When
I
you were
really
like,
hammed it
Nick,
up to you. I was like, Nick, it's bad, dude.
You're like, I got 1%
I need one
chance.
night with your wife.
And I gave it to him.
You were there too though.
I was in the closet.
weird.
You knew about that?
Yeah.
All you heard in the closet was.
Yeah,
So
it would have
faint.
sounded exactly like this.
And then a real slow kind of.
Just one or two like last minute spasms.
Let's random Prince
Yeah,
screams.
just
No, I don't. I'm not afraid of it. I don't know. When it happens, it happens. I don't ever think about it. You know what I mean? It's so rare that I think you actually get a chance. You're like, oh man, that could have fucked me up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think I have those moments really of like where I was close. I'm sure they exist. I think about in backyard wrestling when I almost broke my arm. That's like a thing of like I was close to breaking my arm, not I was close to dying from a
Yeah.
broken arm. But like that was like a moment where it's like, oh shit, I dodged a bullet there. You know, I dodged a bullet, not breaking my arm there.
Yeah.
But like the cancer thing and the allergic reaction and stuff to the medicine and stuff, like it wasn't gonna kill me. It was just a pain in the ass.
right.
So no, I don't worry about it.
Tim, are you afraid to die?
You know, it's one of those things where it's like, in the way Greg's saying, I don't think I've ever been afraid to die in like a sense of, I actually think I'm going to die right now and I'm scared of that. It's more the idea of once I start thinking about, am I afraid to die? I think the answer is yes. And I think that because when I watch movies or things that are created to elicit a response from me, like an emotional response, and it's surrounding death, it affects me greatly. And the idea of me dying and what that would do to the people I love, or like, I guess I'm scared of death in the sense of scared of other people dying. And I know what that would do to me. Like my mom and brother are two people that at any moment could die. I know anyone can die at any moment, but I feel like them two specifically, for very different reasons.
They're
like
threading
you
the needle a
motherfuckers,
Their
little
you
bit.
are
chips are
just-
about to fall.
yeah, they're pulling some bullshit. And I'm like, all right, guys, don't do this to me. Just don't die because I don't want them to. It'll be like it would really suck if that were to happen when that happens. And knowing that feeling, I feel like there's a lot of people out there that would feel that way about me.
Yeah, sure.
And like not millions, but I can name at least one.
I'd be upset if you died.
Yeah, there'd be a couple people, and I'd be like, I don't want that, you know, because there's when you watch Lion King,
Yeah.
and Mufasa dies, it's like that scene makes you feel so fucked up and like empty for a reason, you know. There's like a reason that all these movies play off of death. Like death is such, and it's not just movies; it's everything. Like there's nothing worse than being at a funeral. Like you're surrounded by people that are remembering the good times and all that stuff. So it's like, in some ways, it's a beautiful thing to like celebrate someone's life, and I feel like a lot of times funerals are that. But it's also like you're only doing that to kind of get over the fact that you're dealing
grieving.
with something horrible.
Yeah.
You know, and that stuff really gets to me, and it really makes me think. So in that sense, it's like I am definitely scared of that. Like I'm scared of I'm scared of knowing that when I die, that's going to cause a lot of other people to do that for me, and it's like I don't want them to do that for me.
But we'll play your videos at your funeral.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. Like my funeral is gonna be a fucking dope ass production, like for fucking sure.
We already
I'm
started-
not
That's
too
gonna come
worried.
out.
Yeah, I'm
Planning
not
it.
too worried about that. It's gonna be essentially like Kind of Funny Live, but just like a little
But
bit
longer.
Yeah. And a few more people will be crying.
If you
but,
ain't
like,
at Tim's funeral, please call me. We will talk you through this.
But yeah, I definitely think about it a lot. I feel like there's been a few deaths in my life that have affected me greatly and have always made me think these things. And it's usually less about the person dying and more about the people that are alive that have to deal with this.
Sure. Yeah. The person who's dead doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But I'm definitely scared. And it's interesting, though, because this gets really fucking deep and it really kind of makes you think, like, whenever these questions come up and I don't really have answers to them, like I have an answer, but I don't know why, I go back and I'm like, why are we here? Like, why, like what Nick said about, like, you're happy with your life because you lived a good life. I am so happy with my life. I've already done so much of the things I want to do, and I know I'm going to do so many more, and things are great, but it's like, so what? I always ask myself, like, why am I doing all this stuff? And, like, who cares? And what's it for? And helping people. Why help people? Who cares? Help people, hurt people. It's like, at the end of the day, like, we're going to be dead, and it's not going to matter, you know?
Yeah.
And that's weird to think about.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about life that way. I just want to be nice and help people and try to make as many people as happy as possible. And I know I feel fulfilled. I want to help other people feel as fulfilled as possible too.
Sure.
But it's scary to not know. Like, what's going to happen when you die and why you lived.
That's one of the great mysteries, though.
Yeah.
I that part I'm excited about. I don't think about myself dying ever. You know what I mean? That's a rare thing for me. I always say I want to check out early. I don't want to be around forever. I don't want to get sold that I can't use video games and do all the stuff I like, right? Where
You
got
and John Candy
the
yet?
shaky hands.
It was like 43.
Is that what it was for him?
Yeah.
That's a bit young.
Oh, young.
I think I feel like in your mid 50s is when you want to be able to play games as well.
Mid-50s? No way.
What? When do my skills start going?
You gotta say
That's
gotta
what you
go.
care about? Is
like-
when you can stop playing video games?
When I can, when my body will stop me from doing the things I enjoy to do. That's what I'm saying in a roundabout fashion. I'm not just hung up on the fact that I want to be able to play Uncharted Golden Abyss on my PlayStation Vita 32.
The Oculus.
Yeah,
They're not
exactly.
making another Vita.
Let alone 31.
31's gonna really that'll be the breaking
That
point
name,
for him.
I don't know if it'll stick to
The
32.
Vita 31.
You'll be surprised, life.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's the thing. You look at people that are in their 60s now, and of course,
that's a good point.
It runs the gamut, right? If people don't take care of themselves, you can be in your mid 40s and look like shit, and your body will be decrepit and not work out so well. But there are plenty of people in their 60s that are probably in way better shape than all of us.
And I'm
right
just
now.
ballparking the figure here.
Sure,
I
would think for you 80.
80s when I should be looking
Yeah,
at
because I feel like by 70. Yeah, you're still gonna be with it. I mean, I have relatives that are in their 70s. They have great medical care. They take care of themselves, and they're spry. They move around. I mean, they're not gonna be able to get on the leaderboards on a COD tournament, but
I never want to do that. Can I play
you know what I
Gone
mean?
Home 32?
yeah, you can play Gone Home 32
All
because
right.
that's easy. You just click,
Gone back home again?
click.
Sarah,
that's all you gotta do.
Sarah's child.
Can you still read? It'd be like this. Though. I can't. I don't know. Can
Do I have
someone-
one monocle?
you'll have to- but at that point, you'll be so wealthy. You'll have to pay. You'll pay someone to read it to you.
Sure. Death's always such a weird thing. Comes out of Colin, are you scared of dying?
Yes and no. I sometimes think about the moment of death and what that is and like what that's like, because if that's I have in my head this notion that death is more traumatic for the human body than we realize, and the only reason we don't really realize it is because you're dead. So like, what I'm sure there's scientific answers to some of these things, but there's certainly no philosophical or spiritual answers to what happens, or psychological answers. Like, your brain shuts off, your heart stops, and then it's just over. Like, I don't know if I believe that. I think there might be like a little bit more. I'm not saying it's a years-long struggle. I might be when you die, it might not be comfortable, even if you're dying like in your bed in sleep. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I sometimes think about that. Like, what is the act of dying like? My mom died on the operating table when she was 12, and she had like a really serious disease when she was a kid, and she died for a few minutes, and she swears, the white light thing and stuff like that. And I feel like that's probably more what it's like. And she was at peace and stuff like that. And I feel like your body's full of so much like endorphin at that point that it's just like a very peaceful and tranquil thing. But I sometimes fear, sometimes it could be like a horrible thing, The thing that I think, and I hate verbalizing this, I hate verbalizing this because I believe in, I don't really believe in it, but, jinxing and stuff like that, is that I've experienced deaths that have really affected me, but like my grandparents dying, and my hockey coach in high school died, and that was like one of the saddest moments ever for me, because he was a really good man and really important to me. But no one in my immediate family has died yet, and I knock on wood for that. Like, I feel like if my siblings,
That's terrifying. Your mom is calling you right now.
yeah, that is weird. I I feel like if something happened to my parents or something happened to one of my siblings, like I would lose my mind. Like and that, so it's more if I found out, God forbid, my mom passed away or my dad passed away, I'd be fucking finished for a while. You know, like that's just, I'm very close to them, and that would be hard for me to accept. And so I'm not so like a life without one of them, like where you can't call them or you can't, you know. In my mind, for instance, I always have this thing like, well, if I fail, I can just go move home.
Right.
You know, still at 30 years old, it's like I can go home. And like, my mom can't do that. My mom's parents are dead.
Yeah.
She like lives life without them. Her siblings are still alive. You know, they're great people, but I don't know. So I guess I just think about death affecting the people that are very, very close to me. I've lost some friends, but none of my close friends. In other words, I don't know if I have a realistic view of death because it's not hit very close to me yet. Like very close. Like it's gotten near me in some near misses with some people that have on the periphery of my life that I've lost and I've been sad about. But man, like one of my friends, good friends, or one of my like close family members, like my aunts or my uncles or my cousins, like it's just not happened yet.
Yeah.
And I hate verbalizing. I hate it because it's like such an eerie kind of thing. Where
You
it's just
know
like,
it's inevitable.
It's inevitable. Like
Inevitably,
and it could be
somebody's-
me. Maybe I'm the first one that goes. You know what I mean? But it's
They're
terrible
gonna
to
be
think
like
about.
this. What did he die of? And the doctor's just gonna pull up a giant jar of empty mayonnaise and be like, I think we all knew this was the case. I think we all knew this is how he's gonna go.
Be like, ER doctor, how did you get this empty bottle of mayonnaise?
I like it too.
Cheryl gets mad at me because she always bothers me about my diet, but I work out, you know, a lot. And when I got my endoscopy in November, I think I told you this. The nurse, dead serious, was like, "Are you an athlete?" And I'm like, "I was, but I'm not anymore." And she's like, "You have the blood pressure of like a really like hardcore athlete. Like your blood pressure is like perfect." And I'm like, "How is that possible?" You know, and she was like, I don't know.
Your heart's working really hard.
Yeah.
Like,
So
it's
I always
weird
tell
too
Cheryl that
because
she-
you're sweating mayonnaise from my sandwich.
So I tell Cheryl that, and she's like, "Oh," and she's like, "You've lost like 8 pounds in the last year or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh," and then so when Cheryl's like, "You're eating bad, I'm worried about you," I'm like, I have the heart pressure of an athlete.
Yeah. Your cholesterol is through the roof.
Oh no,
But
doubt
your
about
blood
it.
pressure is amazing.
Good and bad. So I mean, so me dying personally, I think about. This is one of the things I think about too. Is that in the moment, I'm like, I could have probably died there, and it's one. I just had one a few weeks ago where I just crossed the street without looking, and a car was like. And I wasn't in trouble at all, but there was cars coming both ways, and I'm like, I just crossed the street like that. 5 seconds later, I would have been fucking dead. And sometimes, and then I like get stuck in my head, and I'm like, that's fucked up. Like, why did I look?
Yeah.
You know, like what was I thinking even that I wasn't looking? So I get caught in those things, but more or less, I get caught in you know, what would I do if someone really really close to me died? And it's I hate verbalizing it because but
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where I feel good almost verbalizing because I've never really said it before. Where it's like that's the kind of stuff that scares me. Is like when like how does that what is that like? I saw the way my mom was when her parents died, and it wasn't fucking pretty. You know what I mean? So, you know, I especially when her dad died, like it was really not a pretty scene, and I don't blame her, and I feel like I'd be fucking 10 times worse than that. So, like beyond inconsolable if that kind of stuff happened to me. You know, so. Those are the things I think about more than my own death. So no, I'm not afraid of dying necessarily, but I'm afraid of death and how it's going to affect me and the people around me, like Tim was saying. And the idea of, see, death is one of those things that's permanent. And you can't do anything about it. It's going to come and you're going to die. And it might be bad. It might be bloody. You might be killed. You might have cancer. You might die in your sleep. There's like, but you're going to die. And it's like one of those things that is scary. And every day you live on this earth, you're closer to that day. And that's kind of a fucked up reality of our lives. And so that's why I think we don't verbalize it, but it's in our minds in different ways. It's built into our DNA to accept, acknowledge, and appreciate and fear death. You know, because it is one of those things where you break your arm, like we were talking about before, where your arm heals. You're dead and you're fucking dead. Yeah, and you're gone forever. And so I don't know. I think about it in a philosophical way. I think about it in a personal way, but I definitely most think about it in a way that scares me most, and that's what the people that I really love, because I have people, I have lots of friends and acquaintances and people I really care about, but there might be 20 people in this world that I really love, you know, like love and would do anything for. And Portillo. Well, I feel that way about the 4 people, you know, the people in this company. I feel that way about my siblings and my parents. I feel that way about my good friends from home, my good friends from college, and that's basically it. You know, like it's not to say I don't like or, you know, but it's just like there's just a core group of people that mean a lot to me. And even though I've had friends die, I had a friend die in high school and stuff like that, it was very sad. Or whatever. Now as an adult, Mike Pope or Ramon or one of these guys that I grew up with, like, that would be a terrible thing. It'd be fucking awful. So those are the kinds of things I think about, and that's what I was curious about. I was mulling it over actually not too long ago, and so I actually wrote it down in my phone so I can remember it.
I had when my grandmother died, and I'm with you as well, where I've been fortunate enough to still have all my close family and friends still with me. When my grandmother died, though, it was a fascinating experience. She was very old. I think she died well into her 80s, which is great. And she had obviously a huge family, 5 kids, 4 grandkids, and a number of siblings that she had on her side, too. 'Cause she comes from one of those old school Jersey Italian families where it was like, just don't stop having kids. Like just a kid factory. And like eventually to the point where like the 9th kid's like, who are my parents? Who the hell are you people? I don't know what's going on. But one of the cool things that I saw that I got to witness was when you see a family that was pretty tightly knit at the end of one of their lives. And I looked around the room and I was like, wow, like my grandmother had a lot of people around her that loved her. And like I saw her brother crying. And I was like, I have a brother. And if I'm lucky, maybe one day when I'm 80 or 85, like I'll get to live a life to this point where someone still will remember me and cry at my funeral, but then also celebrate my life. Now we all know my brother; he is crazy, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna outlive me somehow. He'll figure out a way. I hope he does at least, because that's my other fear too. Is when I think about the people in my life, especially when you get married and you're like, I want to be with this person forever, and this person you've chosen to be with. The thought of dying before my wife is just not possible. It's not going to happen. I'll take myself out of the equation well before that happens. And I always kid around with her too, where I'm like, because I'm Italian, and so I'm like, but generally, statistically speaking, I think in most Italian families, the guy goes well before the woman. I mean, it's just the way. I think it's because the women feed the guy to death. I'm not quite sure if that's what it works, but like
I think it's probably something
all of my
to do with it.
grandfathers, they've all gone well before their wives, and a lot of my great uncles. So I tell my wife, I'm like, statistically speaking, like in my family, I'm probably going to go well before you. And she's just like, don't even talk about that. And I'm like, no, I hope I do, because literally the thought of living without my wife is paralyzing to me. I can't do it. I wouldn't even know what to do. It's too much.
Yeah,
Probably go on a downward spiral of drugs.
Yeah, well, you do enjoy Coke, according to your shirt.
Right, Kev? Coke and
One of the things I'll say, and I don't necessarily want to leave it like this, but it's just a word of advice, because I try to live my life like this in the face of these realistic kind of things that happen, is that you should never leave anything unsaid with the people that you love. And if I ever get into a fight with my dad or my mom, and I haven't done that in a long time, or if I get in a fight with quarrel with a friend or Cheryl or whatever, I always, before we go to bed or whatever, or on the phone or whatever, like I've called my mom back when I've gotten in an argument with her, but like, listen, I'm sorry, I don't want to. You don't want to leave things like that, because you never fucking know, And that would be even worse for you if you had a fight with your mom, and then your mom, you never resolved it, and your mom passes away, and that's it. No resolving that after that. That's just a real dark and morbid and realistic thing that happens to people. And I have to think about
that.
That
Would just be like my normal life with my mom. We never resolve anything. We just pretend like it doesn't exist.
Oh no, I've said everything I've needed to say really to my parents, that I respect and honor them and like love them and appreciate them and stuff like that. And even if we've gotten into little quarrels or things in the past, we haven't fought since I was really an adult. But I was even cognizant as a kid and a teenager, like I don't want to leave things like this just in case. And I feel that way. Like I've talked about it in the past, and it's funny when you think about it, but it's really not. Like that Mike and the Mechanics song in the Living Years is like one of the most depressing songs ever. Because it's about how, and everyone knows that song, but he's like singing about, say it loud, say it clear. Say it clear. Yeah. And he's singing about how like he had like a huge fight with his dad, and they had all this strife, and he never resolved it. His dad died, and he cannot say anything to him anymore. It's over. And he has like all these things he can say to him, and it's too late. And that's like a real fucked up but real thing that happens to people. And so I try to at least put myself in a position where, God forbid, one of these things happens. I'd like to go before any of these people go. But so I don't have to deal. It's almost a selfish thing, because I don't even want to deal with it. That at least I don't have those kinds of regrets. So I would leave that with people. If you have something unsaid, you just had a fight with your girlfriend or your mom or your dad or something, maybe give them a call, let them know it's okay. So they'll feel better, you feel better, and you never know like when something happens. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Very uplifting first topic on
Good
the
topic.
Show.
This is why I put you in the front of the rotation. Never.
I like my topics.
That was a good topic.
No, your topic's good. It was a good topic.
was
Yeah.
good.
I also wanted to say real quick, I said that I might have a group of 20 people in my life that like I really am ride or die for. I think it's probably bigger than that. I'm thinking about it. Maybe 30 people. I got to throw my nieces and nephews in there.
We ride or die for them.
Yeah, I am.
They don't fucking know what's up. They play
don't give
touch
a
games.
Shit about
They
you.
do play touch games. They do give a shit about me. They're all
All
about
we did
me,
is
actually.
we helped one of them get socks made.
Yeah, that was
Did
awesome.
those ever finish? Did those ever
I
happen?
don't know whatever happened. I
Where
gotta
the
talk
fuck
about-
is my
that was
flamingo sock?
that was Dagan's
I want
kid.
my sock.
Yeah, I got to expand it to that. So probably about 30 people where, I'd be sad if hundreds of people died. But I'd be destroyed if this one person in this group of 30 or so.
Yeah.
If it leveled you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I'd feel bad for you guys if that happened to me, too, because it wouldn't be pretty.
Oh yeah, no, we have to put up with it. And we can't get mad at you about it. We're like,
I'd probably disappear for a while.
yeah, into your hole back there. We'd still,
I'd probably go to the
still
island.
see you. Still see you coming
Why
out
do you call
here.
it the island like it's the island from Lost?
There's only one island.
Like we gotta go back. Kate, we gotta go back.
That's how he feels
that's
about
what-
To Long Island. We'll just book a flight. It's easy.
Tim.
But see, in Lost, they couldn't get back.
No, I
They
understand
didn't know where
that.
the island was.
I understand. I'm just saying
Turns
that's-
out it's because the fucking island was purgatory.
I get that, Nick.
And you can't just
It
take
moved.
a United flight.
It was able to move.
Oh, sorry.
If someone's
spoilers.
watching Lost right now,
Just stop watching it. That's what I'm saying.
You're wasting your time.
You're wasting. Go to reruns of Seinfeld,
Yeah,
which,
you'll
by the
be-
way,
you'll
are
be
still
happy.
worth like $700,000 a piece. It's crazy.
they're great. Yeah.
I'm sure they are.